Hello my friends, Stephanie here, and I'm back with more movie chatter. And what I have for you today is actually a viewer recommendation for a video. I'm going to give you my top 10 favorite Asian horror films. And of course these lists are purely subjective, they're based on the films that I have seen or have in my collection, and it's also just for fun. It's not to be taken seriously, it's just a good way to get a conversation started about Asian cinema and in particular Asian horror. So of course if you guys have recommendations, please let me know in the comments because you guys always recommend great films and I do appreciate it. And also let me know what your favorite Asian horror films are down in the comments. Alright, so I'm just going to get right into it. These are in no particular order and I'm going to keep my commentary very brief. The first one is a straight up revenge film, but this is a revenge film like you have never seen before, and I've recommended this to many people who've loved it. It's called I Saw the Devil, and this is a brutal, brutal film, and I know that this could probably be considered an action thriller, but I think it had enough horror elements in it and enough gore and brutality that I put it in my horror pile. You might think differently, but that's where I put it. Anyway, we have a serial killer on the loose. He happens to kill the wrong person, and someone in her life seeks revenge on this serial killer. And that's when it goes from bad to worse. And this is just an awesome, awesome revenge film. Like I said, like nothing you've ever seen before. If you haven't seen I Saw the Devil yet, I highly suggest checking it out. And the next one, I mean, this is, of course it's going to be on my list. It's Takashi Miike's Audition. And this is a classic Asian horror film. We have a man who is a widower, and his friends kind of convince him that he needs to get back into the dating scene, so he kind of runs this fake audition and picks this young lady who seems very sweet and quiet and subdued, and we find out later in the film that she's not all that he thought she was, so maybe be careful when you audition people for a non-audition. Anyway, this has one of the most brutal torture scenes I think I've ever seen, like the last 15-20 minutes of the film. Just crazy. So if you haven't seen Audition yet and you have a good stomach, I highly suggest checking it out. And this is the nice Arrow release that's just recently come out. Came out this year. Here's all the special features if you want to check that out. Freeze that and take a look at it. It also comes with different artwork and a nice essay book like all the Arrow releases always do. So that is Audition. And the next one, this is another Arrow release. This is Ring. And I know that a lot of you have probably seen the American version of Ring, which I found pretty good. I thought it was pretty good, but I have to be honest. When it comes to Asian horror versus American horror, if it's the same movie, I tend to like the Asian horror better because I just think it's more unrestrained, not so sanitized, not so PG-13. They do what needs to be done, they get it done, and it's just good. And I recently ordered the box set. There's a box set of all the films. It was already released. Region B was already released. Region A is coming out, I think, in November. I pre-ordered it. It should be coming in November. It's all 3 films. But if you know the story of The Ring, you watch the video and then horrible things happen. Kind of the same thing, but I really, really do like the, I think it's Japanese. Yes, it's Japanese. And it's by the same director who did Dark Water, which I also love. So yeah, The Ring would be my next one. And this one, they say, is on par with Jaws. It's a typical creature movie. Not a typical creature, but the creature comes out and grabs a little girl and all hell breaks loose from there. The Host. And all I can say to you about this one is watch it because it's really, really good. And if you like Jaws and you like creature feature type things, you're going to enjoy this one. Now this next one is a Criterion. It's actually Spine 90. And it is, I hope I'm saying this right, Kwaidan? Tell me if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Anyway, this one it's 183 minutes. And it is a series of 4 ghost stories, and they are so good. You can almost watch it. You could watch it as a mini series if you wanted to. You could just watch like one story a night, but I thought these were really, really good, and they deal with a lot of different like spirits and things like that, and I really, really enjoyed this. I haven't watched it in some time, but I do remember really enjoying it, and just taking it out to put it in this pile makes me want to watch it again. So yeah, I would definitely say, especially for people who are looking for some horror in the Criterion Collection, because I know there's not a lot of it in there. I mean, there's some, but this is one of the better ones, I think. So definitely check this one out. And then my next one, this one just came out, I would say in this past year, and I did talk about it on the channel. It's Rampant, and it's from the same people who brought us Train to Busan. What I like about this one is you have not just the zombie element, because it is a zombie story. The zombies are going after the village, and one of the sons who was in exile comes back to fight to protect his father's village. His father, his brother has passed, and his father is gone. His father was the king, and so they're all gone, and he comes back to kind of save the village and protect what's left of his family. And there's these zombies coming, you know, through the village at night, and they have to defend themselves. But what I really like about this is that it's not just a zombie story. It's almost got that like Game of Thrones type of feel to it, because you also have all the fighting and, you know, the swordsmen and all that stuff. So I think it has a really good mix, where in a lot of these zombie movies it's just a straight up zombie movie, where this one has kind of two stories going on at once, which I really did enjoy that part of it. So Rampant would be my next one. And this is another one of those films that, like I said, kind of, it maybe could be a thriller drama, but again, I think it had enough horror in it that I consider it horror. It is called Bedeviled. And it's a story of a woman who is living on this island where she has always grown up. She contacts a childhood friend to come and visit her. And when the friend gets there, she finds out that this gal is living in a horrendous situation with her husband and the men on the island. And it's only a matter of time before a gal cracks. So I can tell you, if you want to see somebody lose it, and understandably so, definitely check out Bedeviled. It's a really, really great movie, and you know, it's kind of sad what's going on, but it's a good kind of revenge movie. I would say it's a revenge movie, but it's a good one. And this next one, I just talked about this not long ago on the channel. It was actually a viewer recommendation. This is what I'm talking about. You guys tell me about the best movies. This is a lot of fun. It's called One Cut of the Dead, and I know that when I talked about it, I said, think if the crew of The Office made a zombie movie, and that's what this is. The first 37 minutes of it is an uncut, seems to be like an independent documentary type of thing about a zombie attack. And then we cut to the behind the scenes thing, and that's where everything starts to become just a blast. So it's kind of like a zom-com movie, but just so good and so much fun, and it is just really, really well done, and I don't think you're going to be disappointed by checking this one out. I think even if you don't really like comedy mixed with horror, because I know some people don't like that, you're really going to like this one, because I know the first couple minutes I was sitting there thinking, what is going on here? And then when the movie kicks in, it is so, so good. I could watch this any day, anytime. So definitely One Cut of the Dead. And this next one, I love it. I know some people said they find it slow, but I think it is a really nice build of a story and a big payoff at the end if you just stick with it. It's called The Wailing. And we have a village where people are becoming ill, and everybody seems to have these same symptoms, and we have these detectives on the scene trying to figure out what's going on, and then one of the detectives' little girls becomes afflicted with these same set of symptoms, and they are trying to find out what is going on and what or who is causing these problems in the villages. But yeah, The Wailing, like I said, can't recommend it enough. Yes, it is a little bit of a slow build, but huge payoff in the end. So definitely, if you haven't checked it out, check out The Wailing. And my last one, this is almost a no-brainer. I have never met anybody that didn't like it that was a fan of horror. Train to Busan. And what can I say? One of the best zombie movies I've ever seen. I love how the zombies are in this film. I love that they're fast moving. I love that they're aggressive. I thought the makeup was great. Special effects are awesome. Everything about it is just great. So I heard they're making a second one, so I'm looking forward to that. And this would be my 10th film on my top 10 favorite Asian horror films. So, I hope you guys found a few titles maybe that you hadn't heard of, or ones that you liked, or maybe something to check out. Let me know in the comments. Again, what are your favorite Asian horror films, or ones that I missed that you would like me to check out? I want to thank you as always for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. Leave me some comments, suggestions, recommendations, you know the drill. And hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so you know when I upload my next video. So that's going to do it for me today. My next video is probably going to be my July pickups because I haven't done them yet, and it is August 9th, so that's not good. But that's going to do it for me today, so until we meet again, that's a wrap.